It just broke my windshield.
Oh my god!
Come on! Hi, how are you? Howdy there. There's a rap song from high school. We're going to take you guys just on a vlog. There's a pretty big report coming out tomorrow, which could move grain one way or the other. Hopefully it moves it up. If it moves it up, good. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna hopefully take a load of corn here. 3 loads yesterday. Coming out of the wet bin. Stay around here, sweetie. The fluffy dog is still being spoiled because planting season's coming up. And hey, did we talk about the goal for planting season? Reach 60,000 before our first seed goes in the ground. We're getting close. We're close, guys. But this is the setup I've got going on here. I just moved an auger over and jockeyed it over there. I was using the truck auger, which is sitting right over there, to load out, but it was wet right here. Now, can you tell by all the deer prints? Holy smokes, you think you got deer? Look at this. Look at this. Only place there's more deer is in Moline, Illinois. Yeah. So I do need to get some rock brought in here soon. But I've also been considering another part of this project here for this year. But we had some developments that are pretty cool, which I haven't told you guys about yet, which I will tell you guys about. How am I doing with the whole like stringing you along type of deal, building the anticipation for the reveal of yeah, good, bad, otherwise. So if I can juggle both of them, I might. If not, this one might have to get pushed until the next year. But I'd like to get them both done, but I'm also ambitious like that, so we'll see on both of those. You better go unroll the tarp first here. But anyways, back to that big report. Unfortunately, my bin is not completely full. It's actually probably about ready to sump out. But I have been working on my understanding of the commodities market here lately. Actually all last year. Last year I paid a pretty good education fee to figure those things out, if you got my drift there. And I still haven't gotten it figured out. I'm pretty sure the experts don't even have it all the way figured out. And that'd probably be a really good question to ask the experts. And if they say yes, they're lying and run. So the way I see it is, if I haul the grain before the report and the corn goes up, that gives me a chance to maybe forward contract, do some heads to arrives for the first time this year on some new crop grain, and also maybe take a position and protect myself a little bit. It's confusing. And I'm not gonna try and explain that to you because I don't want to explain to you wrong. You like my little tile setup thing I got going on there? If you're relatively new here, I did a whole series on building that wet bin with GSI last year. It's in a playlist. You can check it out. Pretty cool videos in that, actually. And the nice thing about this rig right here is it actually moves the corn. That truck auger takes like an hour to load out. This, less than an hour, substantially. I haven't timed it. We're also loading out some good heavy corn too. 60, 61 pound test weight stuff, but it's a little drier than I'd like. It's like 12 and a half or something like that. So then also in the last video you saw us empty the hay shed yesterday after I hauled corn. The 8110 was still hooked up to the Kinsey grain cart there. I brought it over here. I unhooked the grain cart because I need to get the 8110 ready to go for planting season. Realistically, planting could happen in, I think, less than 2 weeks. But I think we're supposed to get some rain, and the ground is just getting, I'd say 2 days you could do groundwork. If you're really busy, I bet I could carry across the ground right now, but I'd be doing some compaction stuff. So We're not gonna try that.
My mom gave me a muffin this morning.
Apple cinnamon crisp. It'd be nice if I could get another semi-load out of here before it sumps out, but I don't think that'll happen. If it does happen, I've got more corn than I thought I had, which is a lit like, that kind of comes back to a grain cart situation actually. One thing that we ran 2 years ago, we ran the 1421 Kinsey, which had scales and stuff on it. That made it really nice. We knew exactly how much grain was actually in each one of these bins. And since we were running that this year, and our monitors weren't calibrated the best this year because we didn't have a grain cart scales to scale against it. So without scales, you really don't know. And that cart does not have scales, and it's unbelievably expensive to put scales onto that cart.
Realistically, just did the knock and tried to figure out how much grain actually went in there. Then we counted semis, but
it's hard to keep track of. And especially when your corn's got good test weight, it changes how much weight you actually get by volume. You sell it by the bushels, which is a volume, which should weigh a certain amount, but it can weigh more than that. So like a bushel of corn should weigh 56 pounds. But if you filled up the same basket and one's got heavier test weight, like this corn's got heavier test weight, running 60 or 61, that means that it has basically 4 or 5 more pounds per bushel that you put in there. Well, you put 1,000 bushels on your semi, and space-wise, you're gonna have 5 times 1,000, 5,000 more pounds on that semi, but it's sold by the weight. Are you following me along? Yeah, that's why test weight matters.
Is because higher test weight means more bushels in a bin with the same volume.
That's the end of that argument.
For this semi to run 80,000, we're looking about 70 on the gauge here.
Shut her down. And that's that. We're loaded up. We'll head to Cargill and Eddyville and sell this load of grain.
Position right, brake, dump valve, hopper door it open. Got a little front post there. Inflate, close the tarp, inflate, brakes, and you're out of there. Participation award. So the next thing on the list is just a quick oil change on the 8110 here. Clean the cap a little bit. Crack her loose. Let that drain out for a minute. It's gonna leak everywhere. Get the filter off. DZ 101881. Hey, I need a part lookup for my 8110's 81 motor. It's got a DZ 101881 filter on there. And I've got a filter that has 8110 written on it here, but it's DZ 118156. 18156, and that's just with the O-ring in it with it. Okay, all right. Thank you. Yep, change numbers. I think this gal probably broke 4,000 hours last year. We'll have to check on that. Which means that we've gone from 34, 40 hours to, we haven't even broke 1,000 hours on this machine yet, which it's pretty much just been a bean planter other than last year. Last year we put 150 hours on it, so still didn't even have a hard time last year. I think I need to put a new air filter in it, but I don't have the air filter right now, so we'll have to get a filter. Oil is changed. Had to put it in there with that gallon deal. This tractor's a bit mess. So I'm gonna jump in here, get the cab cleaned out so that the cab's nice and clean to start the year off with. Yeah, look at that. Let's just do the whole. It's not the most stunningly immaculate 8110 ever, but she's a working girl. At least got all the dog nose prints off of the door there. And she'll get probably a power wash before she's supposed to go to work, just to turn around and get immediately dirty again. But it sounds to me like it's getting very windy outside, and I think there's a chance of storms tonight. So I'm gonna go load another load of corn here and get that semi out from underneath that auger in case something stupid happens. Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Oh no!
Molly and I are going into town. We got some meetings for the stuff that we'll tell you about soon.
Papa.
Oh, it just broke my windshield.
Oh my god! Whoa! Yeah, so hail's not fun. Absolutely cracked the windshield. I don't know if you can see that very good, but just cracked it. Horrible.
So Saturday after the hailstorm there and the Iowa women's awesome win last night. But after looking a little closer at the hail damage, it actually peppered my truck. There's my windshield crack. And realistically, you're not going to be able to see that on camera because I can't see it right now myself. Kind of get the light in the right spot. It reflects too much like that. That's why I didn't even notice it when it happened. So what are we doing the rest of this Saturday, you might ask? We did not get the rain that we thought, or I thought we were going to get. Like a 1/4 inch of rain. And the forecast actually looks favorable here the next couple of days, actually the next week or so. So we have an entrance we need to get put in and some more skid steer work. I need to get some skid steer work done at my place and then also all over the place. Entrance video, the entrance making I'll make into an entire video. But now we're just headed into town. When you remember the wheel bearing went out on my dad's gooseneck, it's finally fixed, so I can run in and grab it and then go grab a skid steer. In the Centerville? Yeah. She's back. New axle on the front end. And I think a few new wheel bearings. Apparently I trashed the axle when that happened. She's back. Glad to have it back. A little muddy over here. I'd take that, but I don't think the wheel bearings that just got put onto that trailer would last very long, or the rest of the trailer. Check for the smell. That's getting better. First thing I'm going to try and do is get Dad's new tree puller up in here. Oh, that sucker's heavy. I guess that's the first advantage to my cheap tree puller. At least you can get it in the bucket without having dead pups. Come on, don't you dare. Oh, come on. Got it. A little bit of cleanup that I'm going to be trying to get done here on my place is, this is the 6-inch main that I pulled last fall to get the tiling done. It's running just a little bit of water. Just dribbling out, just barely running anything. We don't have a lot of subsurface moisture. You know, we're still relatively dry. Just waiting for it to dry out on top. And granted, this is tiled dirt, but this is looking, this is well, been tilled. That's looking pretty. And it's warming up. We're getting closer. So, but what I need to do here is I've still got some dips and bumps and swales and stuff, and then I've got some T-posts here, a little bit of grading I need to do, and a tree that I need pulled to clean this corner up and leave it alone for a while. But let's look this thing up and see what it does. Thing looks like a saw. I wonder if you're supposed to be able to cut stuff. Got like little 2 teeth on the front of it. Better than the one that I paid. I don't even think I paid $1,000 for mine. So I'm slowly, okay, so Wayne put in every single piece of fence on this property. But I don't have livestock, don't plan on having any livestock, and I probably would not have livestock, excuse me, livestock at this farm. Yeah, like stuff in my throat. Unfortunately, then on the flip side of that is that it's a pretty nice fence. But I've had to do things like to take out a little bit so I can make tile line runs. I just don't see myself re-putting the fence back in. So slowly but surely I've been removing some fence. But I know that if I took it all out, Wayne might have a conniption. So it's kind of like one of those inch a year type of things.
well, GoPro issues, dead battery issues. I really did not expect to get these trees out. I thought I could pluck a couple of them, and I managed to get them. 2 years ago, I buried the excavator right there trying to dig that out. I actually just called my neighbor. He said he might be able to come over with his big excavator and take a few scoops out of there. I want to try and fix this up. So I'm not out of the woods yet, because I'm thinking what I'm going to do now is try and grade this out a little bit so that it's not the way that it is. Maybe push a little bit of the dirt back up the hill here. So what do you guys say you go back on time lapse, see if the GoPro stays alive now? Yeah.
Invincible.
It needs a little more work there, right? Kind of in this area, it flattens out. I'd like to see it like more gradually towards the pond, and if I can get that right there scooped out and then just thrown up there after it dries out, I can come back and fill it in this summer and turn around and grade it, rototill it, seed it, make it look pretty, and then you can go around the pond. The issue is that you couldn't get around the pond. You had to go because this was so jacked up. And there's a fence. So about had a boo-boo. I completely forgot about this outlet right here. This one. I just about dug the dang thing. It's like, I don't think I did. And I had to be close to it. Need some dirt in this area. There's my pallets. You can sit here, grab that, drag it up, throw it up there. That'd be good. But significant improvement that I did not know I was going to get done today. But happy I did. At the beginning of this video, we talked about hauling the corn and the report that came out. So the report came out and it was bullish on soybeans, which was good and bad. Good because the price of soybeans went up. I had bought a call when soybeans prices dropped big time. I just thought they took too much money out of the market really quickly, and I liquidated that call before the report came out the morning of. Made some money on it, but I could have made even more money after the report came out. But that was a base hit, so we're good with that. I don't, if this makes sense, because I just want to tell you about the reports when we talked about the calls and the puts, stuff like that, things that I'm trying to learn. On the other side of it, markets for corn really didn't change that much, so, but it was a little bearish on corn. I really don't know how that's going to change here in 30 days. Sounds like weather up north is not doing so hot, which might put more bean acres in. Might have to prevent plant acres. All these things are always possibilities. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the Sunday video. If you haven't yet, hit the thumbs up button. I think we're with like 50 people away from 60,000. What do you guys say? Let's get it done? Yeah. Sweet. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah, another thing that I did is your end credits here for you. Look at that chain. oh, you guys probably can see that. That chain. Pulled the bushes here that were in front of the shop because I was a little worried about that's where the rats were getting in. Which I don't think. I think the rats came in with the skid steer. That's what I think. Where the skid steer was, got the rats, and then they came in. That's how I think they got in there. But I found a hydrant in each of them, and a wagon wheel, and a cinder block, and then I shook the bush, and a dang piece of iron falls out of it. All kinds of treasures in those things. It looks a little different around there. Let's see, let's go see if you guys can see the dents now when the sun's a little further down. Oh yeah, maybe you can. GoPro, yeah, like can you see, like there's one, there's a littler one next to it. Pot mark there, pot marks there, on the front here. They're all over the place. So that's where we're gonna end this.